Hi, I'm Maria Theoharis or Velosos on social media. Welcome back to Sober 50 podcast on Soul Organized Style. You're listening to the Top 20 Countdown series.
So the more you can bring in, the better. And I think people appreciate that too, that we don't mind, that they might knock off 4 or 5 or 2 or 3.
Some people are really good at that, like Trisha from Morris. She is a master of, like, she can have 4, 5, 6 challenges all in one post. It's I'm not sure how she keeps them all in her head.
Suzy, Sue and Hélène gave their time to tell us about how Magam Sewalong began and what they do to keep this initiative running on Instagram. Magam Sewalong is number 18 in the Top 20 Countdown. You would have noticed that since 2020, they've had guests to run the challenges each month and include a theme. Love a good theme. They've had about 37 guests who have helped out each month to run the Magam Sewalong challenge. Here's an interesting fact. While the Magam team try not to count entries, they've had over 8,000 posts on Instagram for the Magam Sewalong. Sue said people love the refashioning themes the most. What she then said was, any theme that allows sewists to work that into their monthly sewing is appreciated. Suzy, Sue and Helen, thank you so much for being on the podcast for Sober 50. So everyone, let's step back in time and listen to Sue, Suzy and Helen.
Today, we've got a very unique group and a long-running group, but also a group of friends who are friends through sewing. Okay, sometimes it's difficult to motivate yourself to sew regularly. Life gets in the way. And there are some groups that you may or may not know of. And today we're actually going to talk to the trio behind Make a Garment a Month. So the trio consists of Hélène, Suzy and Sue Stoney are the 3 forces behind Make a Garment a Month.
Bonjour.
Hola.
Hiya.
Hi, or good day.
Hello.
Ladies, would you like to take it from here so that you can introduce what's brought you together?
Okay. Well, Sue, you could just explain how we got in touch, because you were the first with the blog, and this is how we met. And then I met Suzy on Instagram.
So I have got a blog which Hélène followed, and I think I met Hélène in the last podcast I did with you, Maria. I talked about how Hélène and I had met a few times.
Yes.
And so she came to New York. So we met in real life. And then I suggested she join Instagram, which she did. And then I think Hélène met Suzy on Instagram.
Exactly.
And then I followed Suzy, and Suzy probably followed me. So the 3 of us began following each other and doing things, and I'm not sure, it wasn't me, so one of these other 2 created the title Sewing Sans Frontières, probably Hélène, because it's French.
No, Suzy's idea.
It was Helen's idea to sew something together. We made the yellow jacket together.
Yes.
Yeah, when we met in New York with Sue, we had the idea that we could sew the Tello jacket by Pauline Ellis. And then we embarked Suzy with us. And then the Sewing Sans Frontières group was created. And it was our first make together, the Tello jacket by Pauline Ellis. So it was our first make. And then
we had a couple of challenges, like the Kaftan challenge, which a lot of other people joined us for. And so we were sewing together, we were talking together. And then, of course, Sarah Liz, who had been running Magam Sewalong, which the 3 of us had been doing, said she could no longer manage it with all the other things she had going on in her life. And I think it was either Suzy or Hélène who suggested that we take it over. Can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. I know it wasn't me.
No, that's it. That's exactly what happened. I was very sad that Sarah Liz could not run it make a garment a month because it was my favorite challenge. And then Suzy suggested that we could take it over together with Sewing Sans Frontières. So, and then that's how we got to run the Make a Garment a Month so long together. And Sarah Lise accepted. She was glad that someone, a group or someone would take over the challenge so it can live on.
I remember that Sarah Liz, when she was running it, she was doing so much in her personal life that I was just in awe of the fact that she was running it.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I think it's great that we are the three of us to run it and keep motivated.
Yes, because one of the important things is always commenting on people's makes. We don't reshare them because we want to be very equal, but we do like to comment. So between three of us, we don't miss anybody. I think when you're on your own, it's very easy, especially with algorithms and things like that, to miss somebody. But with three of us, we're guaranteed to always, at least two of us, always comment and give some encouragement, because that's what it's all about. It's encouraging people, as you said before, to find the motivation to sew something for themselves, because we all spend a lot of time running after everybody else and looking after other people, and sometimes our sewing or our needs are at the bottom of the pile. So that's the main reason that Sarah Liz and that we want to carry on behind Magam.
Would it be worthwhile letting listeners know if is it an account or a hashtag?
The hashtag. Shall I just give you a bit of history in case listeners don't know?
Yes, please.
So Sarah Liz started it in 2013, and it was just a small group of sewing friends. So the idea was about friendship and support, and it was a challenge, I think, between the virtual friends. And it was about sewing to look after yourself because, you know, as we know, we tend to sew for others, perhaps before ourselves. So that's why we're quite fierce about the selfish sewing. So when somebody puts up something they've made for another person, we'll say selfish sewing only. It's important. That was the spirit of what Sarah Liz started. And it was really about a way of motivating people to sew one thing a month for themselves, and that while there is a deadline and that the month ends, it's fluid. So we always say we just want to see it made. We don't care how long it takes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we provide a prompt. The prompt is a way to get motivated, and the prompt is always some kind of abstract prompt. So anyone can make whatever they want. We won't say sew a jacket, sew a skirt, or like this month is Juggling June, which means a lot of things, whatever you're juggling with, UFOs or anything. So it's really open. It's only a way to think about what you could make and get inspired. So, and there is no prize to win except support and friendship.
It's a good prize.
I think that's an important thing, that it's not a competition. There are no prizes. And I think people relax into it more. Would you agree, Suzy?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, I mean, there's a lot of people that have been doing it for years, along with Sarah Liz and now with us. We always have sort of a hardcore section of people, but then there's lots of new people joining all the time, which is lovely, of all ages and lots of different countries. And so it's nice to see. And we have the prompts that Hélène was talking about. We have a little teaser the day before, which we quite enjoy, a quote or a visual or something like that. And that's really got people quite excited. So that was an idea of Hélène's, and it's quite good.
That's fun. It's like a little way to make it create a little buzz around the big reveal of the monthly prompt. You know, they try to guess what will be the new prompt. One hint that we have, it's we always try to use an alliteration. So with June, it's the prompt will begin with a J, and so it's. And we have fun finding what will be the prompt, deciding what we will use as a prompt. Yeah, it's fun to decide. It's very creative, don't you think, ladies?
And it's good to see with our teaser that our followers try to think about what the monthly theme will be, and they come up with some amazing ideas, which we have adopted in the past.
Well, that's
So-
good.
Multicultural May was actually from one of the group. It wasn't our original idea, but we went with it from Wendy.
Wendy, yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy 07.
She came up with Multicultural May. Well,
She came Multicultural March. Because she was trying to guess what would the March prompt be, and she suggests, is it multicultural March? And we said no, but we will keep this prompt for May because it was so good.
And have you had a Magam that's been more popular than others?
Ooh,
Yes.
we don't really do any statistics, do we? I mean,
No, we don't, but yes, there are prompts which have been more popular than others. I would say that the January prompt, which was genuine, was very popular, I think. Maybe because it was the beginning of the year, I don't know. But in January, we had a lot of participants, I think. And August Away was very popular. Just kidding, because we skip a month a year. We take vacations, and then it's called August Away. So
Sounds good.
yeah.
Scrappy September, last September.
Oh yes,
Yes, people like that.
yeah.
I'm just looking through. There was one that people really did like. Antidote April.
Oh yeah. You're right.
That
Because
yes,
it was for the pandemic.
Yeah.
We suggested that sewing would be a good antidote to what we were going through. So yeah, it was very popular. This one was very popular. Yeah.
we could have had Antidote May, June, July, and August. I think, in fact, keep it
Well,
going.
Yeah, these prompts could apply to any month, in fact, but it's fun to have just one starting point to think about what we will make. It's always a suggestion to inspire. It's not a.
Yes.
There's nothing to win, so anything that you will present will be good.
Right.
It starts people off, doesn't it? Thinking inspiration. I think
Yeah.
we should say, because if people don't know, we are actually on 3 different continents, which is why we started off calling ourselves Sewing Sans Frontières, because Hélène is in Canada and
Yeah.
Sue is in Australia, in Perth, and I'm in Europe, but I'm in Spain. So we're the 3 of us. Probably the only difficulty is that generally one of us is always asleep.
And that's not being personal either.
This is the only time of the day that we've worked out we can meet, really. And
Exactly.
it's often difficult for Suzy because it's the middle of the day for her and she's busy.
Yeah.
Early in the morning for Hélène.
Yeah, right now I just woke up. It's 8. It's a little past 8. Sue is about to go to bed. Suzy is about to have lunch. So it's always like this. We have to meet when it's morning for me, night for Sue, and middle day for Suzy. But
Yes,
it's
right.
fun.
It is.
Was there anything else that you wanted to cover for our listeners about what you're doing and what you're planning to do in this really unusual year?
Well, we can't tell you what we're planning.
Oh, no, don't. Sorry.
We're very secretive about our things. It's like, I don't know why really, but we are and we like that. I think we really just wanted to honour what Sarah Liz started. She did introduce an annual theme, which we have dropped, only because, you know, the thinking up an annual theme that kind of dovetails into a monthly theme is quite difficult and more work. We've tried to streamline it so it's less work.
And some people thought that they could not join in because they didn't have the annual theme. So it's easier this way with only a monthly theme because people can dip in, dip out whenever. They can participate when they want. You don't have to engage for a year. It makes it more simple.
Different things happen to you during the year. So to be committed to a 1-year challenge, it takes a while. If the monthly challenge is what keeps people motivated, then that's the best thing to do. And it sounds like it's been going really well.
Yeah, and we also encourage challenge busting so do multiple challenges because there's always other challenges going on out there. So the more you can bring in, the better. And I think people appreciate that too, that we don't mind that they might knock off 4 or 5 or 2 or 3.
Some people are really good at that, like Trisha from Morris. She is a master of, like, she can have 4, 5, 6 challenges all in one post. It's I'm not sure how she keeps them all in her head.
And her sewing is always sustainable. So she's a great inspiration for sewing sustainable. She will use what she has, and she's really
leftovers. I love it. You know, the other people's leftovers that she's always using.
Sewing someone else leftover. Yeah.
No, that's really great.
Sue is our visual. She will create the slide. We have a meeting. We decide the prompt, and then Sue will create the slide.
And then Hélène does the little sketches on, zhuzh them up a bit, which is lovely. It's all a combined effort, I think. We all participate in different ways, and that's what's lovely about it.
We generally all make something with the prompt too.
Yes.
So we juggle in June, like now we're juggling. We both had Sue and I had the same idea to juggle with small bits of fabric.
Yes.
Juggle. You could juggle with patterns. You could juggle with ideas you had, or inspiration, mood board, or mixing 2 patterns, mixing fabrics. It's always really open, and people can present whatever they want to make. We asked our participants not to sew accessories. It's only garment. Make a garment a month, because accessories are maybe
they could be done as a gift rather than something for yourself, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And we always make little accessories like masks, but bags, or these little things are more or less engaging than make a shirt or a dress or.
You have to have a boundary, otherwise it's too open. So saying a garment, I mean, the whole thing is the simpler that it is, the more people take part, and the clearer the, if you like, rules. So a boundary is a garment, otherwise it can go off all over the place.
But garment is taken in a very large sense, like a hat can be part of your garment. But we don't want maybe to have decor things like cushions, or because that would be like too much of everything, you know.
That makes sense. So if they want to do a garment a month, it is a garment. So if they want to be part of hashtag MAGAM Sewalong.
Exactly.
Well done.
Got it. Okay. So hashtag MAGAM Sewalong. All right.
And we all present. We all post the monthly prompt. So if people are following Sue or Suzy or me, they will see the new prompt popping in every month. So they won't miss anything. So that's a good idea, to follow one of us to get the new prompt every month. It's really easy.
And So Over 50 also always promoted as well, which is
they are great.
Yeah.
Yes. So our listeners understand what you're doing is providing motivation for people in the sewing community to sew and be motivated to sew every month.
Yeah.
And it's all about support.
And self-care.
Self-care. That's right.
That's it. Making new friends, discovering new accounts, because if you can follow the hashtag and you will see what people create. So that's a good way to see new faces and new makes, new sewists.
I really love doing it. It's lovely to say, met lots of new sewers, but it's a lovely way for me to make sure that I keep contact going with Sue and Hélène, because, we meet up every month and we do have fun. We do have fun choosing the prompts and discussing them. So there's a lot of giggling and discussion goes on to deciding what we're going to do. So it's a lovely way to keep that contact going. And yeah, and I think it's a very positive challenge, to run. As I say, it's all about not just meeting people and sewing, but doing something for yourself.
It was my favorite challenge at the beginning. When I started on Instagram, right from the start, it was my favorite challenge because there was no competition, no prize, no judge. You just present something, and then Sarah-Lise was there and helping you and encouraging you. And I really, really appreciated that. So I would have been sad if that challenge would have disappeared. So I'm thankful for Sarah-Lise's work at first. And then I'm thankful that we could take it over as a trio. It's like a dream, working with these two people and having fun each month and feeling important. And I don't know, it's all part of the fun. I really love that. I'm glad.
Just to reiterate what the other two have said, it is all about friendship and support and sharing your makes. We do encourage people to show us what they're going to make before, and then show us them modelling it once they've finished it. And we don't always manage to do that. Even, I'm the worst, because I just start sewing and don't think.
I am the worst.
But no, it's fun. We have so much fun. I was looking through all the messages today and having a giggle. It's good.
Such a good initiative that the three of you are running with and enjoying managing for us. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Maria.
That's okay.
Thank you, Suzy and Hélène.
Merci tout le monde. It was really fun to have the opportunity to just, I'm thinking in French, sorry.
Yes.
Just think about the whole thing and have a picture of all this, because we're running it every month without thinking it over every time. So it was fun to go back to the roots and see how it was, how the challenge was born, who was behind that, and how it's not something that we think about very often. So it was good to have an overview of the whole thing with you, Maria. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. When you're doing something every month, when you finally get to sit and look back, the three of you have achieved so much. So it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
It's fun. That's why we can keep going on it as well. You've inspired us to have Zoom meetings now instead of meetings on Instagram. So thank you for that, Maria. You've got us started on a new page of our challenge.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, that's true, Maria. I wasn't using Zoom before this interview, so I really got the application for your interview. So, and we said from now on we will always set our meeting on Zoom. That would be so nice to see you ladies, because we are only writing direct messaging and emailing, but now we're
face to face,
modern and everything.
Yeah, you don't have to
front,
no matter where you are.
Yeah, but it's great. It's a wonderful thing that we can run this together from 3 continents.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Well, I hope I meet Sue soon. I've met Hélène, but I haven't met Sue. So hopefully Sue will be able to come to Spain at some point.
I was supposed to be going in September to meet Suzy, but that won't happen, I don't think. Next year, Suzy.
Yes, fingers crossed. Sooner or later, one day, the 3 of us will get together.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that
will be very.
I would love that. See you. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Many thanks to the team who are Make a Garment a Month Sew Along. Get your Sojo going and join in on their monthly sew alongs, because you know that they'll support you, and a month actually takes longer than a month.
This episode of Sober 50 Podcast on Soul Organized Style was produced by me, Maria Theoharis, with permission of the Magam Sewalong team, sound by bensound.com. Many thanks for the ongoing support of the podcast Patreon contributors. On patreon.com/Soul Organized Style, you can support this podcast every month for the cost of a coffee. Their ongoing support enables me to develop this podcast for free. You can subscribe to Soul Organized Style Podcast, but with an S, not a Z, on all good podcast apps. Make sure you go back and listen to our free Sober 50 Podcast archive on Soul Organized Style Podcast. If you would like to contribute to the many ongoing posts and challenges the team promotes on the Sober 50 account on Instagram, direct message Sandy and the editorial team. The Sober 50 community has over 50,000 followers. We look forward to joining you in your sewing room next time. Stay safe, everyone.